Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I've just got a plain Strata cup and this absolutely amazing holographic vinyl that I found off of Amazon. It's super pretty. It's even more rainbow and brighter in person. And I'm just going to show you how to apply it using the wet method, and this will make sure that you don't get any bubbles. So I've got two squeegees. One is from Ride Wrap, which is when I originally learned how to do this, and a bottle, and in the bottle is just water and a splash of dish soap, a drop really, and then just mixed together. So for this, I just want the middle of the vinyl. So I just ripped the backing, and then you're gonna absolutely soak it. Like, we're talking, you can't use too much water or too much of this solution. This will allow it to be repositionable. When I first did this with my husband, actually, we used Ride Wrap, and we actually wrapped his whole bicycle like this. And that's when I learned that the more water, the better. You can use as much water as you feel necessary and absolutely soak both the cup and the vinyl. And see, I've just lifted it right back up, and you'll have no problems. It will be completely repositionable. Don't worry. We did this for hours and it nearly caused a divorce. But when you do this, it allows you to get all of the air bubbles out. So you can see I quite easily got the entire vinyl on the cup. When you're 100% happy with your placement and there's no large bubbles, I'm just trimming a couple, like a millimeter off. I got this decal off of Etsy. I think it was like $2. It was slightly too wide, but that's okay. We'll deal with that later. So now I'm just taking a squeegee. I like to use these ones with the fabric on the end. It prevents scratches on my vinyl. It also helps get some of the liquid out. So you can actually see, I turned the light off in hopes you could see it. I'm actually just pushing the water out, pushing all the bubbles out towards the seam. And as you do that, it will, it attaches your vinyl and make sure that there's absolutely no bubbles in it. I didn't even get one. So it doesn't even take much practice. It just takes the courage to use a lot of the solution. Don't be afraid of the solution. You squeegee it all out, and this is almost like a rubber version, and just getting all the last of that water out. I generally do this on a towel. It allows somewhere for the water to be absorbed. Be patient. This actually went on really easily just about in the first go, which doesn't usually happen. So using a paper towel just to get the last of that water out. And this hollow material, this hollow vinyl is just a really interesting, it's kind of just a really fun base for the next of your design. Just a little X-Acto knife. Like I said, it was just a little bit too long. I'm gonna have to change the file a little bit and just cut that last, 3 millimeters off. The nice thing about permanent vinyl on these cups is that you don't need to seal them in. When you use just vinyl, I've put just vinyl on Starbucks cups. I've had them in the dishwasher over and over and over again for years, and nothing's happened. So you can see, all done. Love that holographic vinyl. I'm just going to go on and add another design on it. I got this full coverage design off of Etsy, I believe. I'll put the links below. It's just a cherry blossom design. Just a nice fun spring design. I apologize, I've got a bit of a cold still. My husband brought something back from his recent trip. You go anywhere and you come back with a bit of a cold. He went to Missouri and he left me behind. This was the absolute worst transfer tape I have ever used in my life. I believe it's Oracal transfer tape. I bought 2 rolls. I doubt I will use them anymore. It took probably half an hour to get this design off, and it wasn't even overcut on my Cricut. It was just really shoddy transfer tape. it just wouldn't stick to it at all. So I just skipped forward so you didn't see that painfulness anymore. I've put the white layer over my next layer. And again, here we go, worst transfer tape ever. I find it easier if you're going to do a layered design on a cup, if you do it when it's flat instead of around the cup. It's just a little bit easier to line your design up the way you want. Again, you could use the wet method again, and at least the design stays movable. I find it just as easy to do it while it's flat. In this case, I want to try to make sure that I cover that seam with as much of the design as possible. So I'm just going to fiddle with the design a little bit, come to, where I think will cover the most of the seam and make it go away. The white vinyl is just Cricut Premium Vinyl. The holographic red vinyl is also, it's a Cricut holographic vinyl, both from Michaels in this case. And it just takes a second, give a little bit of a burnishing, and then in this case the transfer tape actually comes off really easily. So, generally if you can have your vinyl stick to it, then it doesn't come off as easily. When the vinyl doesn't stick to it, it just peels off like nothing. So just another little bit of vinyl that didn't want to stick to anything. So there you go, we got my holographic behind it. You can't always see the holographic, sometimes it just looks clear, and when the sun hits it, you can see all that beautiful rainbow. So I hope that was helpful. Don't be afraid of wet application vinyl. It's not as hard as it looks.